All right, looks like we are live here on YouTube, maybe on Facebook as well. Let's check YouTube out. It's my first time doing it, so bear with me. I have my iPad here, and I will see how we're doing. All right, looks like Jay Plays Keys is live. See how we're doing. All right, good. All right, looks like we're live on YouTube. I'm not sure about Facebook. Let me check that real quick too. This is my first time, guys, playing around with this new technology, this new software. All right, cool. Yeah, looks like we're good. So, welcome to my first live stream. Today, I'm going to be talking about how to learn songs fast, right, on the piano. Let's go ahead and do that. Now, pretty much, I've been playing the piano for quite some time now. And I have this YouTube channel, Jay Plays Keys. If you haven't subscribed, go ahead and subscribe. I teach about how to learn a lot of gospel songs on there. And one of the questions that I get on a lot of my songs is, I'm a beginner. How do I learn this song? Or another question that I get a lot is, hey, I am joining, or I've joined this church, or I've joined this choir, this music group, and I need to learn how to play songs pretty quickly. How can I learn how to do that? So that is what I want to talk about today. Let me go ahead and get into it. And if you have any comments or any questions, feel free to leave me a comment. Again, it's my first time using StreamYard, so I'll try to make sure I see the comments. But I have my computer here, got my iPad and my phone, so I can kind of see what's going on here and there and everywhere. All right, so let's get started. So you want to learn how to learn songs fast on the piano, right? It's Christmas time right now, holiday season. A lot of people are saying, hey, you can play the piano. Play this song for me on my Zoom church service, or play this song for me. My mom and dad really want to hear me play this song. So I'm going to give you a couple tips on exactly how to do that. All right, my first tip right here is you got to be listening to the genre of music that you want to play already. So, like I'm saying, me right now, I'm talking about gospel. You have to be listening to different types of songs that inform the way you want to play. So you might listen to some gospel, you might listen to some jazz, you might listen to some instrumental music. But what is going to happen is, as you're listening more to the songs that you want to learn how to play, and since you play by ear, you're going to start picking up some of the chord progressions. You're going to start noticing some things that are similar to songs you want to play, because as you listen to more and more music, and I talk to my friends about this all the time, there's really like 5 or 6 main chord progressions no matter what the genre is. If you can learn those chord progressions, you are just fine, right? So the more music you listen to that you would like to play, the easier it's going to be for you to be able to learn how to play songs very quickly. So it's just having it in your head and really becoming one with the music that you want to put out into the world, right? I'm not sure if my piano can be heard. No, I don't think so. Because if it was able to be heard, I was going to. Yeah, I was going to try to play this live, but I'll figure out how to share my piano another day. But anyway, so the next tip that I have here is use primary chords. And this is something that I would like to show live with my piano that you see on screen, but you can't hear it. So I'll talk through it. You want to learn how to play your primary chords. And what those are pretty much, you have your 1, which is your root. So let's say we're in a key of C and we're playing a beginner song, say, Oh Holy Night, right? All right. So the song, it starts on the 1, and again, you can't hear it, but I'm going to play a C chord here, right? And let me just get out the way. You would play a C chord to start the song. Starts on the 1. And then, Oh Holy Night, it's going to stay on the 1, and then it goes to the 4 where it says the stars are brightly shining and goes back to the 1. So you can literally play this song without having to do the arpeggiating. It gets pretty complicated where people are kind of doing some sort of rhythmic arpeggio to play the song. You can kind of just learn what those main chords in the song are and just play those chords. And you kind of sit on the chords for a while. So while I'm holding a C chord, I want to say, "Oh, holy night." And then I'm going to move to the 4 chord. The stars are brightly shining. Again, you can't hear what I'm doing, but I'm just trying to give you an example of how you would do it. So notice that the keys here, even though you can't hear them, they're not moving that much, right? It's just saying, "Oh, holy night, the stars are brightly shining." That's how I would play the song if I was a beginner and someone just told me to learn this song yesterday or a week ago. I'm not going to try to learn how to do all of this. Watch the keys get really busy as I try to play the song the way I would play it if I had more notice, right? See how busy that is? See all that's going on? You don't have time to learn that if you're trying to learn how to play the song really fast, right? So I would just listen to the song a bunch of times and pick out the main chords. You're on the C. You're going to go to the F. You're going to go to the 5 a couple of times, right? And you're going to go to the 1. And again, like I said, you're listening to this genre of music all the time, so you kind of have an idea of the patterns that you tend to see in those songs. So that's a cool way to be able to learn how to play a song and to play it pretty quickly. The last tip that I had about how to learn to play songs fast, my first live stream here with Jay Plays Keys. We're on Facebook, we're on YouTube. It's pretty cool. The last tip that I had here was you have to break it up into very small parts. And again, this is something that's cool for a live demo, but if I'm learning "Oh Holy Night," for example, I'm not going to sit down and say, "Oh my gosh, I got to learn how to play "Oh Holy Night." What I'm going to do is I'm going to sit down and how can I play the very first phrase, the very first measure of this song? How does it sound? You can't hear it, but I'm going to play, like I told you, a C chord, and then I'm going to go to this F chord, and then back to my C. And I'm like, okay, let me listen to that part on the recording, whether it's YouTube or I have a recording on my phone. Let me listen to that part, and then let me make it sound exactly like that. I'm not going to think about the rest of the 95% of the song that I don't know yet. I'm just going to look at the song like with 5% chunks. And I tend to go through sentences of the song, right, or phrases. "Oh, holy night." Can I play that part? All right. The stars are brightly, okay, shining. Notice that I'm doing very, very small parts of the song one by one. And it might take you 5 or 6 or 7 minutes, depending on how comfortable you are playing by ear, to learn each part. But don't think about the entire song you need to learn. Just break it down into the very, very small parts. Again, guys, if you have questions or comments, please feel free to leave a comment or a question. If not, I'm going to keep on rolling. And what you're going to learn when you play these very, very small portions of the song, you're going to see, wow, these are chords I already know. Because sometimes we listen to songs and they sound super complex, and especially if you have a very skillful musician playing it, you might think there's no way I could ever play that song. Well, you might not play it the way this person played it, but when you sit down and you figure out, okay, the bass line is going 1, 4, 5, 1, you're like, oh, I know 1, 4, 5, 1. I know 2, 5, 1, 7, 3, 6. All these progressions we learned. I know how to play those progressions. And the only difference between you and that very skillful musician that's playing that song is the way that they put those progressions in order, right? And the way they mix it. It might be a way you have not played those progressions before. So that's why you haven't learned how to play the song. But that's okay, because again, we're learning and we're listening to this type of music all the time so that we can get it into our head, and so that we're literally making these subconscious connections between what I know and what I'm hearing all the time. You got to be listening to the music, right? And we're going to break it into really small parts so that it gives your brain time to really focus on that one part of the song that you're trying to learn. So my fourth tip that I would have especially having been a musician in the holiday season for many years, I gotta tell you one good thing about learning how to play songs quickly. You have to know when to say no, right? And you want to say no in the right way, depending on your situation. But I'm going to talk about church because that's where I tend to play. In the holidays, if you have a big like 100 or 200 person event coming up, maybe it's a Christmas play followed by, you know, a big Christmas extravaganza or concert or something like that, and someone's asking you, hey, can you learn how to play this song really quick? And it's some crazy specific song that you know you're not going to be able to learn in 2 weeks. The quicker you let these people know that you're not going to be able to learn the song, the better it's going to be. You don't want people making a plan for that centers around you as the piano player learning a specific song if you're not going to be able to learn it, right? So this is sometimes a pretty tough conversation to have, but you got to be realistic with yourself as to what you can get done in December. I got to tell you, I know what it's like because between October, November, December, you get a lot of asks as a musician because people are watching Christmas movies, people are going to other churches, other concerts, and they're like, oh, I want to do that song. Jonathan, you should play this song. And you're coming right off of Thanksgiving and you roll right into Christmas and you got a lot of stuff you got to do. Maybe you got extra services you got to do, you got midnight service, this or that, revival, 7 days of Christmas, whatever it is. So you have to really look at your calendar and say, do I really have time to learn this song? And one thing that I've found is really helpful is if I had to say, I can't play this song or I'm not going to play this song, at the same time as you say that, you suggest another song that you might want to play, right? So don't just say, hey, I'm not going to play Oh Holy Night. You say, hey, I'm not going to be able to play Oh Holy Night, but maybe we can play Silent Night instead. Still a Christmas song, still about the nighttime. What do you say? And most likely they'll say, that's cool, I got it. Because you don't want to become a musician that's always saying no all the time, right? You're kind of put in a precarious situation, right? Holidays, because you don't want to be the musician that said no. You also don't want to be the musician at the event that obviously did not know was not prepared to play the songs that you wanted to play, right? Because there's a lot of people there could impact your future, as a musician at that institution. So that's one thing that I really think, you just got to know when to say no. If I were to come up with a fifth way to learn how to play songs fast, YouTube, dude, YouTube, it'll save your life. I know I play on YouTube, Jay Plays Keys. That's my channel. Go subscribe, learn some songs. But there's a ton of other musicians on YouTube. And at this point in 2020, 2021, you can find pretty much any song you want to learn how to play. It's on YouTube. If you don't find a song you want to play, or you don't find a teacher who can teach it to you the way you can understand it on YouTube, you need to go onto one of your favorite YouTubers' comment section and say, hey, I really love this video that you did. It helped me a lot, ... By the way, can you do this song? And 9 times out of 10, they will do that song. They might not do it tomorrow, right? Because they're busy, they have a schedule. But I've found on YouTube that a lot of these YouTubers that I like, they're really responsive. They actually like to have people comment and talk. And if you give them something that they can do to help you, they'll do it just to help one person. I've done it multiple times. Sometimes, again, they'll say, hey, I got something coming up Sunday. Can you teach me this choir song? I'm like, nah, I don't know it. Or, have to be upfront. But most times it's pretty simple. So, all right, guys, that's all I'm going to talk about today. I just wanted to give this StreamYard little software a try. I wanted to see if my piano would work on here, and I wanted to give a couple tips on how to learn songs quickly on the piano. That's pretty much was my goal today. So I hope you got a couple of tips that you can take back with you as a musician. In other news, I think I am going to do some Christmas songs on Jay Plays Keys. So if you have some Christmas songs you want to learn, please comment under this video. Let me know which songs you want to learn that I can do. Maybe Silent Night, maybe Oh Holy Night, maybe both. I don't know. Hark the Herald Angels Sing. Just depends on what comes to my head, honestly. I'm just thinking of random songs right now. But it is time to get in the Christmas spirit, so I'll do some Christmas songs. All right, guys. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.